Yes, my brothers and sisters, we're back with more O'Shea Can You See right here on your inspiration station, WTIS 1110 AM. We just had Bob Musselman here with us in the studio, gave us the 10 good ways to be a good Catholic dad. They were terrific ways, and we appreciate him for bringing in great stuff for us each week about how to be a good Catholic Christian dad, how to really just make a good impact for the lasting long haul in your child's life. And he does that for us every week, and I really, really appreciate it. A little while, I'm going to tell you about my new health kick and how I'm trying to get healthier. I'm taking Fruit of the Spirit now, which has got all the servings you need of vegetables and fruits in just 2 1-ounce glasses. So I'm trying to get healthy. I'm 47, feeling 87. I don't want to feel that way no more. So I'm going to be proactive and do something about it. Then I'm actually going to learn how to exercise after that. But we'll just one step at a time, baby steps. That's how we're going to get it done. All right, our next guest, I'm very excited to have this gentleman. He is the president of a group called Current, which actually focuses on young adults. And it's a great ministry. He's involved in many different ministries. This guy is a man of many, many talents, as a matter of fact. He is out there doing it for the Lord. And I'm very, very excited to have him here as my guest. Everybody say hi to Jason Sowell. Jason, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today, Pete?
Good. Am I saying your last name right?
You got it. You got it perfect.
Okay.
All is correct.
Okay, very good. All right, let's start with Current. You're the president of that. It's a ministry you started, focuses on young adults. Tell me about the goals of Current.
Sure. At Current, when we started 4 years ago, a little bit was out of my frustration of being a pastor for so long, and how kind of the way that my experience of doing missions work and helping the community. And so we. When we started it, our goal has been the same since day one, to educate young adults on social initiatives that are current in our world right now, and but not just leaving it at education, but also mobilizing them to bring about change in those things and doing it in creative ways. And so that's kind of been our goal from day one, and we're trying to figure it out as we go along.
And that is the toughest group to work with, too. I'm the youth minister over at St. Patrick's, and through high school, I can keep them engaged. Once they get past that and they start to have a quote-unquote life of their own, they got the car and the job and everything else, we may not see them again until it's time for them to baptize a child, right?
Sure, yeah, and that's, in some ways, I think that's typical. What I found is that young adults will stay very engaged with things that they're passionate about. If you put something in their hands, or a cause in their hands or in their head that they can fully understand, and that they can see the tangible efforts of, and they can see the results of, they'll be fully engaged, and they'll get into it as much as they can. And quite frankly, young adults, I think, are the greatest change agent in the world, because they have the most passion at that age. If they can focus it, and we can help them focus it on something that's truly important.
I 100% agree with you on that, Jason. Now, again, I was saying you are a very accomplished young man, and you're very, very talented. You're a public speaker. You're a writer. You're a ministry mentor. You're a missionary and a wedding officiant. I mean, all of this for the Lord. Tell me how rewarding and fulfilling your life is, other than the fact that I saw on your website that you're not a professional surfer. But other than that,
right.
you have a very rewarding and fulfilling life, don't you?
I do. I really do. And, people have asked me in the past, when I was growing up, when I kind of knew what I was going to do in my life, and, people ask me, the typical things of being a pastor, questions about making money and things like that. And, I always tell people I would rather do something that I love and be passionate about what I do than to hate my life, working a job that is not fulfilling. And so I get to be a part in so many different ways. Like you mentioned, being a wedding officiant, I get to be a part of people's lives in a very special way in their life that, not a lot of people have that connection with them. And it's really opened a lot of doors into conversations with people. I do weddings for people that are non-religious weddings as well, and it's really opened a lot of doors in that avenue for me to have spiritual conversations with them, because of that, they trust me to have that kind of conversation with them. So all the stuff I do, I really think kind of comes back to probably the central thing of being a missionary, really, because that's what I want to do. I want to live my life on a mission.
And I hear the passion in your voice, and I absolutely love it. I know what you're talking about. When I was in the big fancy job and all that stuff, I had money, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't satisfied. Now, as a youth minister and doing this show, I know I'm doing the work of the Lord, and I'm doing what He wants me to do. I'm actually fulfilling my divine destiny, and so
Absolutely.
are you. And your mantra is simple: leadership, learning, and love. Explain that to all of us, please.
Sure. Yeah. I learned very early that understanding what leadership is, and wanting to being a leader means being a student of other people and being a learner. And so leadership to me obviously kind of comes along with being a pastor, and there are things that we need to lead in, but I want to be learning about our culture and about needs of the world and things like that, so that I can be a better leader. And then also, I'm very committed to loving people and loving the world around us. And I think that's, the Bible's very clear that people know us as His disciples by our love, and that it takes action. That means getting out there and actually doing something about that, not just talking about it, which a lot of times we're really good at. We're really good at leading the way of talking about things that need to be done in the world, but we don't take some time to just learn about what people need and then taking action to show love about what we learn and helping people. So it's very simple for me. I think if I can fulfill those three things in my life and be good at those three things, I think I'll end my life very happy and satisfied.
Oh, most definitely. We were talking about earlier today I had a guest who's our director of youth ministry, and he was saying words and actions have to go side by side if we want to really show true love, the true love that Jesus wants us to share with everybody. And you're doing that in so many different projects. I want to talk about some of the projects you've got going on, which sound absolutely terrific to me, and I want you to share them with all of our listeners. Tell everybody about the Laundry Love Project.
Sure. Now, that's probably my favorite thing in the world that we do. It's something that I learned. I wish I could say it was my idea, but I actually got the idea from a friend out in Portland who was doing these things for homeless communities. And I came back to Tampa from hearing about this idea, and I thought, man, I never realized how much laundromats are community points for people, but also how taxing they are on people's lives and how expensive they are, and just simply getting clean laundry, how much of a chore that is for some people. For a lot of people, it's just a normal everyday thing. I walk down the hallway, I throw my clothes in the washer, no big deal. I come back to it later. But for some people, it's a luxury. It's a burden to keep clean sheets and blankets. And so we started doing this project here in Tampa, and it's kind of spread to other places in the country. But basically what we do is we turn laundromats into community centers. We go into low-income communities usually, and we work with the laundromat owners, and we take, on a Saturday, we go for about 3 to 4 hours and take volunteers, and we pay for people's laundry. It's completely free for those few hours that we're there. We provide all the supplies that a family would need, anything that they may be lacking of or need, or if they have it when they show up, we tell them to save that, use their stuff for next time, and use our stuff this time, so that it helps them on that day. We provide stuff for their kids, coloring books, crayons, and balloons. We have coffee and donuts. And I learned that laundromats are not fun places to be in most of the time. And so, we try to make that day better for them and just show them some love by simply meeting a tangible need through clean laundry. So that's what that project's about.
Dude, I absolutely love that. I'm falling in love with you, brother. This is fantastic stuff what you're doing. You're jumping right into the middle of something that's really important, and it's an absolute need. You got to have clean clothes, and you're turning it into a ministry, and then, like you said, turning a laundromat into a community center. Terrific idea.
Yeah.
All right, let's...
And I was going to say one thing, too, real quick on that. I didn't realize that how much clean laundry, how much dignity that brings for people.
Absolutely.
I take it for granted. And, I'm hearing stories of these people when we first started about, being able to go to a job interview knowing that they have clean clothes to put on, and just simply going home at night and sleeping in clean sheets, something so simple that we take for granted, but how big of a deal it is.
It's a huge deal, and it makes such a big difference to people, and they'll remember you guys, and that may transcend their whole life because you started that with them, and so that's a terrific program and a great idea. Speaking of which, let's go to the next one that I also read about on your website, Hope for Homes. Tell me about that project.
Yeah, we started that project a couple years ago, and the best way I can describe it to you, I think, is if you can think Extreme Home Makeover is not us, and but if you think Extreme Home Makeover and what they do to transform a home, but think of it on a much smaller scale, and instead of tearing the home down and rebuilding something new, we rehab the existing structure that they already live in. To me, the home should be the most hopeful place It should be a place that you can come home to, and it be hopeful, and it be comforting, and it be the place of rest that you can get away from whatever trouble you're facing. And for a lot of people, that's not the case, especially people that are working a job, they're taking care of things in their life, and they're trying to take care of their kids, but they don't have $10,000 in the bank to put a new roof on their house or to fix just the broke down things in their house, and it becomes so overwhelming to them that it depresses other areas of their life. And we found that there's a lot of services for people that can't afford their home, can't afford to buy a home or can't take care of things because they don't have a job or whatever. But for that single mom that works a full-time job or even a part-time job, and she's doing what she can to take care of her family, when it comes to her home and things that need to be fixed, there's no help for that person because they have a job. And so we decided, we're going to focus in on families like that are, doing good things in their community and, working and trying to better their life, but they need that extra step up. They need that hand up. And, I wholeheartedly believe that it's good people change neighborhoods. And so if we can go into neighborhoods that are struggling and broken down, and we can identify some good families in those neighborhoods, and we can help them in this one way by fixing up their home and making it better for them, they're going to multiply that when they move back in that home. So over a weekend, we saw Friday to Sunday, we moved them out of the house, put them in a hotel, give them some entertainment, some things to do for the weekend. And while that's going on and they're having fun away from their home, we've got contractors and volunteers that almost work 24 hours from Friday to Sunday working on their home and fixing problems and painting and doing all these things. And then we bring them home Sunday night and do a big reveal and have the community there and their neighbors there to welcome them home. And, it's just a big party when they come home. So that's what we do. We just want to provide some hope for people's homes so that they can be better themselves and be better, change the world themselves from that point on.
Dude, you're my new hero, man. I'm absolutely loving this. This is fantastic stuff. I want to be, next time you do one of those, I want to be there and check it out, and I want to come out, interview everybody, and we'll bring it back here and tell more of their stories on the radio, because what you're doing is making a real impact on society, and you're doing exactly what Jesus asked us to do, okay? He made it very simple for us. You want eternity, you want salvation, love one another as I have loved you. And you're not only doing that yourself individually, but you're showing others how to do the same, and you're making it a community activity to just love one another. These are terrific things that you're doing. Tell everybody the websites where they can go to help out with what you're doing with any young adult who wants to engage the current, the trips you do for current. Tell everybody where they can go to learn more about this.
Sure. Yeah, our website is simply what you just said. It's engagethecurrent.org. Engagethecurrent.org, and if they go there, there's links to our website for our Laundry Love Project. There's also a link there for our Hope for Homes project as well. And so if you go to engagethecurrent.org, you can find out, if someone wants to donate, they can donate there. If they want to contact us to volunteer, they can do it from there. I mean, everything's right there on the website at engagethecurrent.org.
Dude, the things you're doing are absolutely amazing. You're a role model for everybody. And, you've worked with a lot of people that I know, too. You've worked with Relevant Church with Paul Worth and those guys. I know the More to Life guys, Jason and Spencer and Saul Pinchon. I know those guys very well. John Farris from Cross Point Church is also a mutual good friend of both of ours. So, I'm going to get you a cape and everything because you are a superhero, my friend. And
thank you.
And I'm going to fawn over you because you're too bashful to do it. I heard that about you, too, that you're shy about it and you're trying to do humble about it, which is what it's all about. So I'm going to say it. Jason Sowell, you are fantastic. You're doing the work of the Lord. I'm very, very impressed and proud of you. Keep up the good work. President of Current, which you go to Engage the Current and find out more about what he's doing. These fantastic things. Laundry Love Project, Hopes for Homes. Absolutely terrific. Jason Sowell, thanks so much for coming on O'Shea Can You See and sharing the love of Jesus Christ right here on our airwaves.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Jason Sowell, thank you so much. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to get healthy overall with my body by taking fruit of the Spirit. I'm going to tell you more about it right after this break. Don't go anywhere. I love you and I love Jesus.
Can't rule your heart.